My dear chosen one, I need you to pause everything right now and listen carefully to what I am about to reveal. There is something coming toward you that requires your immediate attention. A woman has entered, or is about to enter your life, and I must warn you about the energy she carries with her. This message is not designed to create panic in your heart. Instead, it exists to sharpen your awareness and prepare you for what lies ahead. Every word I speak to you today carries weight and purpose. Nothing about this warning is random or insignificant. You have already walked through fire and emerged stronger. I have witnessed every tear you shed when nobody else was watching. I stood beside you during those long nights when you questioned whether your journey had meaning. I strengthened your spirit when the world told you to give up. That is precisely why I am speaking to you now. In this moment, you are entering a new chapter, and I refuse to let you walk into it blindly. This woman may already be present in your life, or she might appear very soon. At first glance, everything about her will seem gentle and appealing. Her words will sound thoughtful. Her attention will feel genuine. She might even recognize the light you carry and speak words that make you feel seen and understood. But beneath that surface exists a complexity you cannot yet perceive. I see patterns that remain hidden from your current perspective. I understand motivations that have not yet revealed themselves fully. What appears as connection may actually be confusion dressed in attractive clothing. If you sense that these words are meant specifically for you, take a moment right now and leave a comment saying, "I receive this message." Your willingness to acknowledge this guidance strengthens the protection forming around your path. You are someone who loves deeply and gives generously. These qualities make you beautiful, but they also make you vulnerable to those who have not yet learned how to give in return. Some people are attracted to your strength, not because they want to walk beside you as equals, but because they hope your light will somehow fix their darkness. This is a fundamental difference you must learn to recognize. Healing cannot be transferred from one person to another like a gift. Healing requires personal responsibility, honest self-examination, and a willingness to face uncomfortable truths. When someone approaches you expecting you to heal wounds they refuse to address themselves, that relationship will eventually drain you. You cannot pour endlessly into a vessel that has holes in it. Right now, your clarity is increasing. You are beginning to understand your value in ways you never have before. You are recognizing patterns that once confused you. You are seeing through surface-level interactions and sensing deeper truths. This growth is precious and must be protected. When people notice this clarity emerging in you, their reactions will vary. Some will celebrate your growth, others will feel threatened by it, and a few will attempt to dim your light because it exposes their own stagnation. The woman I am warning you about falls into a category that requires your careful attention. She is not necessarily a bad person. She carries wounds that have shaped her in ways she may not fully understand. But those wounds have created patterns of behavior that could disrupt the peace you have worked so hard to build. You are not responsible for fixing her, saving her, or sacrificing your own stability to make her feel whole. Watch carefully for the small signs I am about to describe. Notice how you feel after spending time in her presence. Does your mind feel clearer or more confused? Does your energy increase or decrease? Does your sense of purpose feel stronger, or does it begin to fade into the background? These internal signals matter more than any words she speaks or any temporary moments of connection you experience. Peace is one of my most powerful guidance systems. When a relationship consistently replaces your inner peace with tension, anxiety, or confusion, that is my way of showing you something important. Do not ignore these signals simply because you want to believe in the best version of what could be. Reality must be honored even when it disappoints your hopes. If you trust that I am protecting you through this warning, show your faith by commenting "protected." This simple act of acknowledgement creates a spiritual anchor that strengthens your discernment. I need you to understand something crucial about timing. You are standing at a threshold. Opportunities are approaching that will require your full attention and your clearest thinking. Doors are preparing to open that will change the direction of your entire life. If your emotional energy becomes tangled in unnecessary drama or unstable connections, you might miss these moments entirely. That is why this warning matters so deeply. Many chosen ones make a specific mistake. They believe that compassion means accepting every person who appears in their life, regardless of how that person behaves. They confuse patience with enabling. They think walking away makes them cruel or judgmental. This is not truth. Real compassion includes boundaries. Genuine love requires wisdom. Protecting your peace is not selfish. It is necessary. This woman may test your boundaries in subtle ways. She might share stories designed to create sympathy. She might present herself as someone who desperately needs exactly what you offer. She might make you feel special by claiming you are different from everyone else who failed to understand her. These tactics are not always conscious manipulation. Sometimes people act from pain without realizing the impact they create. But unconscious harm is still harm. Pay attention to patterns rather than isolated moments. A single conversation means very little. What matters is the consistent energy that shows up over time. Does she take responsibility when conflicts arise, or does she always find ways to make you feel guilty? Does she respect your need for space, or does she pressure you to prove your care? Does she celebrate your growth, or does she subtly discourage you from pursuing goals that do not include her? Your kindness is a gift, but it must be given wisely. Not everyone who asks for your time deserves unlimited access to your energy. Not every person who claims to need you is actually ready to receive what you offer. Discernment is not about judging people harshly. It is about recognizing what is healthy and what is not. If these words are resonating with your spirit right now, let me know by commenting 777 so I can see that this message is reaching the hearts it was intended for. There is a specific dynamic I must warn you about. Emotional intensity often gets confused with emotional depth. This woman might create moments that feel very intense. There might be dramatic conversations, tearful confessions, or passionate expressions of connection. These moments can feel meaningful in the instant they occur, but intensity without stability is just chaos wearing an attractive mask. True depth reveals itself through consistency, respect, and mutual growth. It shows up in calm moments just as much as dramatic ones. It does not require constant crisis to prove its existence. If your relationship with this woman feels like a constant roller coaster, that is a sign of instability, not passion. You may notice that when you try to create distance or establish boundaries, her behavior shifts dramatically. She might become cold and withdrawn, making you feel like you did something wrong. Or she might become intensely affectionate, showering you with attention until you lower your guard again. These fluctuations are designed, consciously or unconsciously, to keep you off balance and focused on managing her emotions. Healthy relationships do not require you to constantly adjust yourself to maintain peace. They do not demand that you shrink your goals, hide your growth, or limit your potential to make someone else feel comfortable. When you find yourself walking on eggshells or editing your truth to avoid conflict, something is fundamentally wrong. I have placed specific gifts inside you: vision, strength, purpose, wisdom. These gifts are not meant to be diminished or hidden. They are meant to be developed and expressed. Any relationship that asks you to become smaller is not aligned with my design for your life. The season ahead of you requires focus. There are lessons to learn, skills to develop, and connections to build. Your energy is precious and should be invested in places where it will actually grow into something meaningful. Wasting your time trying to stabilize someone who refuses to take responsibility for their own healing is not the purpose I have for you right now. Some of you already feel resistance rising in your heart as you hear these words. You want to believe that your situation is different, that this woman will change, that your love will somehow transform her patterns. I understand this desire. Hope is beautiful, but hope without wisdom leads to repeated disappointment. Change is absolutely possible for any person who genuinely wants it. But wanting change and being ready for change are two different things. True transformation requires humility, honesty, and consistent action over time. Words alone prove nothing. Promises mean little without follow-through. If someone keeps apologizing for the same behaviors without actually changing those behaviors, their words are empty. If you believe that my guidance is leading you toward better decisions, take a moment and comment 333 to acknowledge the wisdom being shared here today. You might feel torn right now. Part of you recognizes the truth in what I am saying. Another part of you wants to defend this woman or make excuses for her behavior. This internal conflict is normal. It shows that you are someone who sees good in others even when they struggle. But seeing potential in someone does not mean you are required to sacrifice your own well-being while waiting for them to rise to that potential. Your loyalty is admirable, but it must be directed wisely. Loyalty should never become a trap that keeps you bound to dysfunction. Both people in any relationship must be loyal. Both must be willing to grow, communicate honestly, and take responsibility for their actions. When only one person carries the weight while the other creates chaos, that is not a partnership. It is an imbalance that will eventually break you. I want you to consider something carefully. What would your life look like 6 months from now if you continued investing deeply in this connection? Would you feel more peaceful or more drained? Would your goals be closer or further away? Would your confidence be stronger or weaker? These questions reveal truth that emotions sometimes hide. Now, imagine your life 6 months from now if you chose to create distance or end this connection entirely. What might become possible if your energy was no longer consumed by managing her instability? What doors might open if your mind was clear and focused? What version of yourself might emerge if you were surrounded by people who actually support your growth instead of subtly undermining it? I am not telling you what to do. I am giving you perspective so you can make informed decisions. The choice remains yours. But I want you to choose from a place of clarity rather than guilt, obligation, or hope that ignores repeated evidence. There is something else you need to understand about this situation. Your presence in her life might actually be preventing her from facing the lessons she needs to learn. Sometimes the kindest thing you can do for someone is to stop rescuing them from the consequences of their own choices. As long as you keep absorbing the impact of her instability, she has no reason to change. When you step back, you create space for reality to teach her what your compassion cannot. This does not make you cruel. It makes you wise. Real love sometimes requires distance, Real care sometimes means allowing people to struggle until they decide to grow. If my words are bringing clarity to something you have been feeling but could not quite name, let me know by commenting clarity received. Watch for specific patterns in how she communicates. Does she listen when you speak, or does she wait for her turn to talk? When you share your feelings, does she acknowledge them, or does she immediately shift focus back to herself? When conflicts arise, does she work toward resolution, or does she escalate drama? These patterns tell you more than any romantic gesture or temporary moment of sweetness. Also, pay attention to how she speaks about other people in her life. If she constantly portrays herself as the victim in every story, that is significant. If everyone else is always wrong and she is always misunderstood, that reveals a lack of self-awareness. If she talks people who were once close to her, understand that you will likely receive the same treatment eventually. The way someone treats others when they are upset is the way they will eventually treat you. Do not believe you are special enough to be exempt from patterns they have repeated throughout their entire life. You are not the exception. You are the next chapter in a story they have told many times before. I need you to be honest with yourself about what you are actually feeling in this connection. Are you happy, or are you hopeful? These are not the same thing. Happiness exists in the present moment. Hope lives in an imagined future. If you are constantly hoping things will get better instead of experiencing actual peace right now, that is a clear sign. Love should not feel like a constant battle. Partnership should not require you to sacrifice your sanity. The right relationship will challenge you to grow, but it will not destroy your peace in the process. There is a significant difference between healthy growth and toxic struggle. Some of you are afraid that if you let this woman go, you will not find anyone else. This fear is a lie designed to keep you trapped. You are not running out of time. You are not going to miss your only chance. The right connections will appear when you are ready and when your energy is no longer tied up in the wrong places. Trust that I see the full picture of your life. I know what is coming. I understand what you need, even when you do not understand it yourself. My guidance is not meant to restrict you. It is meant to protect the blessings I am preparing for your future. If you are grateful for this warning and willing to seriously consider what I am showing you, demonstrate that gratitude by commenting 999 right now. This woman might accuse you of changing if you start setting boundaries. She might say you are not the person she thought you were. She might claim you are abandoning her during her time of need. These accusations are designed to create guilt that pulls you back into old patterns. Do not fall for this manipulation. You are allowed to change. You are allowed to grow. You are allowed to recognize that something is unhealthy and choose differently. Your growth is not betrayal. Your boundaries are not cruelty. Your decision to protect your peace is not abandonment. These are acts of self-respect and spiritual maturity. The fact that someone needs help does not mean you are obligated to provide it, especially when doing so costs you your own stability. You cannot set yourself on fire to keep someone else warm. You cannot drown trying to save someone who refuses to swim. I want you to release any guilt you are carrying about potentially disappointing this woman. Her emotions are her responsibility, not yours. Her healing is her journey, not yours to complete for her. Her growth must come from her own choices, not from your endless sacrificing. What I am asking you to do is difficult. Walking away from someone who has become familiar, even when they are unhealthy, requires courage. Choosing yourself when you have been taught to choose others first feels selfish at first. But it is not selfish, it is necessary. The path I am calling you toward will feel uncomfortable initially. You might second-guess yourself. You might wonder if you made the right choice. You might feel waves of guilt or sadness. These feelings are normal and temporary. On the other side of this discomfort is a peace you have not experienced in a long time. I am preparing something beautiful for your future, but you must create space for it to arrive. As long as your energy is consumed by chaos, there is no room for the blessing to land. Clear out what does not serve you so that what is meant for you has space to enter. If you are ready to prioritize your peace over your guilt, show me by commenting, "I choose peace." Think about the person you want to become over the next year. Consider the goals you want to achieve and the life you want to build. Now, ask yourself honestly whether this woman supports that vision or distracts from it. The answer to that question should guide your next steps. You deserve relationships that add to your life instead of draining from it. You deserve connections that celebrate your growth instead of feeling threatened by it. You deserve partnerships built on honesty, respect, and mutual support. Settling for less than this is settling for less than what I designed for you. Do not let loneliness convince you to accept dysfunction. Do not let fear of being alone trap you in a situation that makes you feel lonely even when she is present. Being alone while building yourself is better than being in a relationship that slowly destroys you. Some seasons of life are meant for solitude and personal development. Not every moment needs to be filled with romantic connection. Sometimes the most important relationship you can invest in is the one with yourself. Learn who you are outside of relationships. Discover what brings you joy independently. Build a life you love before inviting someone else into it. The woman I warned you about cannot fill the emptiness you might feel inside. No person can complete you. That is work only you and I can do together. Expecting another human to heal your wounds or make you whole will always lead to disappointment. People can complement a life you have already built. They cannot become the foundation of it. I see your future, and it is brighter than you currently imagine. There are people coming who will match your energy and celebrate your growth. There are opportunities approaching that will expand your purpose. There are blessings preparing to enter your life that require you to be emotionally available and mentally clear to receive them. Do not miss what I have prepared by clinging to what is merely comfortable. Do not sacrifice your destiny by trying to force a connection that was only meant to be a lesson. Some people enter your life to teach you what you do not want, to show you what you deserve, to help you recognize your own worth by experiencing its absence. This woman might be exactly that kind of teacher. Her presence might exist to help you finally understand your value and strengthen your boundaries. The lesson is not about making the relationship work. The lesson might be about learning to walk away from what does not serve you. If you understand that some connections are lessons rather than lifelong partnerships, take a moment and comment lesson received. Your spiritual growth depends on your ability to release what no longer aligns with your path. Holding on to people, situations, or patterns that have expired will block your progress. Trust my timing, trust my wisdom. Trust that when I remove something from your life or warn you to create distance, it is because something better is waiting. The ending of one chapter is always the beginning of another. The space created by letting go becomes the opening for new blessings to enter. You are not losing anything real by releasing what was never meant to stay. You are gaining freedom, peace, and the opportunity to receive what actually matches your growth. This woman will survive without you. She existed before you entered her life, and she will continue after you leave. Her journey is hers to walk. Your compassion does not require you to abandon your own path to join her in her chaos. You can wish her well from a distance while protecting your own peace up close. Stop trying to save everyone. Stop believing that your love alone can transform people who are not ready to transform themselves. Stop carrying responsibility that was never yours to carry. These patterns are exhausting you and preventing you from fulfilling your actual purpose. Let me be very specific about what unhealthy patterns look like so you can recognize them clearly. This woman might frequently create crises that demand your immediate attention. There will always be an emergency, a dramatic situation, or an urgent problem that requires you to drop everything and focus on her needs. At first, you will respond because you care, but over time, you will notice that these crises follow a pattern. They often occur when you are focused on something important for yourself, when you are gaining momentum in your own life, or when you have created healthy distance. These are not random occurrences. Whether conscious or unconscious, these crises serve a purpose. They pull your attention back to her. They remind you that she needs you. They prevent you from moving forward with your own goals. If you find yourself constantly in emergency mode, constantly putting out fires, constantly sacrificing your own progress to handle her latest drama, that is a clear signal that something is fundamentally wrong. Another pattern to watch for involves how she responds to your success. Healthy people celebrate when you win. They feel genuine joy when good things happen to you. They encourage your dreams and support your ambitions, but someone operating from insecurity will respond differently. She might offer congratulations that sound hollow. She might immediately shift the conversation back to her own struggles. She might subtly minimize your achievement or find ways to make it about how your success affects her. Pay close attention to this dynamic. If your victories make her uncomfortable, if your growth triggers her insecurities, if your happiness seems to highlight her unhappiness, that relationship will eventually suffocate your potential. You cannot fully become who you are meant to be while managing someone else's jealousy or insecurity about your growth. Also, watch how she handles disagreements. Conflict is natural in any relationship. What matters is how people navigate through it. Does she take responsibility for her part, or does she deflect blame onto you? Does she work toward understanding and resolution, or does she escalate the situation with dramatic reactions? Does she give you space to express your feelings, or does she make herself the victim whenever you try to communicate honestly? These response patterns reveal character more clearly than any words spoken during calm moments. Someone who cannot handle conflict maturely will create constant turmoil in your life. You will find yourself walking on eggshells, editing your truth, and shrinking your authentic self just to keep the peace. That is not love. That is control disguised as relationship. If you are starting to recognize specific patterns in your own situation right now, acknowledge that awareness by commenting, "I see the patterns." Your purpose is not to be someone's emotional crutch. Your purpose is not to prove your worth through endless sacrifice. Your purpose is far greater than that, and it requires your full energy and attention. Every moment you spend managing someone else's instability is a moment stolen from your own calling. I placed gifts inside you that are meant to impact the world around you. You carry wisdom that others need. You possess strength that will inspire people you have not even met yet. You hold vision that could create change in your community, your field, your family, but none of this can fully manifest while your energy is drained by managing chaos. Think about how much mental space she currently occupies. How many hours do you spend thinking about her moods, analyzing her words, trying to figure out what you did wrong, or planning how to make things better? All of that mental energy could be directed toward building something meaningful. All of that emotional capacity could be invested in pursuits that actually bear fruit. You are being called to something greater than this cycle of dysfunction. There are people waiting to meet you who will value what you bring. There are opportunities preparing to appear that will require you to be mentally and emotionally available. There are moments of breakthrough on the horizon that you will miss entirely if you are too exhausted from managing someone else's chaos to recognize them when they arrive. I am asking you to choose yourself this time. I am asking you to trust my vision for your life over your fear of being alone. I am asking you to value your peace more than you value being needed. This is not selfishness. This is self-preservation and spiritual wisdom. The decision you make in this moment will ripple through your entire future. Choose wisely. Choose from clarity rather than emotion. Choose from strength rather than guilt. Choose the path that leads toward peace rather than the path that feels familiar. If you are ready to make decisions that honor your growth instead of decisions that please others, let me know by commenting, "I am ready." You are stronger than you realize. You have already survived situations that could have destroyed you. You have already walked through fires that refined your spirit. This moment is another opportunity to prove to yourself just how powerful you truly are. Walking away from dysfunction is an act of courage, not weakness. I am with you in this decision. I am guiding you toward clarity. I am protecting you from choices that would derail your destiny. Trust the discomfort you feel when you are around certain people. Trust the peace that returns when you create distance. Trust the wisdom growing inside you that knows the difference between what looks good and what actually is good. Your future self will thank you for the courage you show today. The version of you that exists 1 year from now will look back on this moment and recognize it as the turning point. This is where you chose yourself. This is where you decided your peace mattered more than someone else's comfort. This is where your real life began. Do not look back with regret. Look forward with faith. Everything I remove from your life makes room for something better. Everyone I warn you about is being replaced by someone worthy of your energy. Every closed door is redirecting you toward an open one that leads somewhere beautiful. The woman I warned you about is not your enemy. She is simply not your assignment. Release her with love and trust that my plan for both of you is better than anything you could force to work. Your paths were meant to cross, but they were not meant to merge permanently. Accept this truth and move forward. Comment, "I trust divine timing" if you are ready to release control, and trust that my plan is perfect even when it differs from what you wanted. The peace you seek is on the other side of the boundary you are afraid to set. The clarity you need is waiting in the space you are afraid to create. The joy you deserve is preparing to arrive as soon as you clear out what does not belong. Take the step. Make the choice. Protect your peace. You are loved. You are seen. You are protected, and you are being guided toward everything you need.